Last week in our Attitude Special, we met several young people planning steps towards an independent life.
Today, we talked to a young woman about her transition to university, how the family planned for it and what was involved. Tegan Morris attends Waikato University. Tanya spent a day with her in Hamilton.
Secondly, a preoccupation.
Working out what makes people tick fascinates 19-year-old Tegan Morris.
The whole process.
I like finding out about people and how they think and why they do different things. And I mean, just learning is basically something I enjoy.
Tegan's a student at Waikato University. Her goal? To work as a counsellor.
I'm doing a social science degree and I'm majoring in human development. And this is my second year here.
So far, Tegan's results are stunning, but she downplays just how good her grades are.
My average was an A, which, I mean, by anybody's standards, I think is pretty good.
Did you get that? Her average was an A. Tegan grew up in Katikati in the Bay of Plenty. As a kid, she'd never had so much as a sleepover. But in her final year at school, she decided she wanted to move away from home and go to university, to be truly independent.
Because it was really the first time I'd had to live away from home and be more independent from my family, who had always provided my care.
Her family fully supported the move to Hamilton, an hour's drive from their home.
As a parent, probably the hardest thing is to know when to let go, and you're judged by, you know, what your children are at. But you know, to let them make the decisions and to step back and then be ready to step back in if you're, you know, if you're required.
Moving out of home is something teenagers do all the time. For Tegan, there's more involved because she requires round-the-clock care.
Do you want sweet chilli sauce as well?
No thanks, just tomato sauce. I have muscular dystrophy. I was born with it, and basically it means that I'm restricted to an electric wheelchair, and my movements and everything are restricted because of the tightness of my muscles and the lack of strength that I have. So it basically means I'm reliant on other people for support and assistance.
Tegan's family wanted the best possible living conditions for her, so they trawled through a complicated funding process, and now she's able to live independently. Studying away from home meant major changes. 3 main funding areas needed to be addressed: course fees, adaptations to her home, and changes in the funding of her carers.
Before I finished my 7th form year, my mum spent about 7 months ringing people and asking questions and trying to find out the sorts of things we needed to know about, what sort of support was available.
I actually thought, now where do we start as a family? And I got the yellow pages out and I went through all the care agency, and I just rang and said, this is the situation with our daughter and this is what she'd like to do. You know, do you have in your department, is this someone I could talk to? And probably 99+% of the time it was no. And then we got onto a lovely lady at CCS, Vicky.
She was fantastic.
Yeah.
She was the turning point, really.
And not only did she have the knowledge, but she had so much enthusiasm, and she just said, Tegan wants this, we're just going to make it happen.
Tegan's dream is now a reality. Because she's living away from home, her family needed to reconsider her care. This became a long, drawn-out process, but Tegan and her family stuck in there.
From there, you know, it was, well, this is what we can offer you as a package, and we just thought, well, that's not going to do it. You know, can you rethink? This is actually what Tegan's needs is. What you've offered isn't going to work. You know, what else can you come up with? And so there were times there where, you know, even though you were offered something, you think, is this going to make it work? And no, it's not. Yeah, and so, you know, try again.
But eventually Tegan was offered a unique package, especially designed to suit her needs, and round-the-clock willing helpers were found. Tegan's now totally in charge. She even looks after the staffing roster. One of the consequences of Tegan's condition is poor lung function. There's a risk she could unexpectedly stop breathing, especially at night.
Because she needs 24-hour care, things like rolling her over, and that can happen several times in a night. You just can't comprehend anyone would want to, or even how you could get people to take on those roles. I mean, we couldn't envisage that early on, but I mean, it's worked out and it's evolved and it's still evolving.
If one of the caregivers is sick, Tegan's mum steps in and travels from Katikati to Hamilton. What does it mean to you, living independently and going to university?
It just means that it's given me the chance to grow up and sort of develop my own new skills and a bit more of my personality. Just a bit, pretty much like other university students, but maybe a little bit less of the partying and drinking.